If you're wondering who's going to be the person to beat John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship, well, I'm here to break it to you. I think it's actually going to be Dom. My name's Casey Cameron, and welcome to Leg Slapper. That is right, believe it or not, I actually think DOMINIK MYSTERIO of all people is going to be the person who takes the Intercontinental Championship right back from John Cena. And no, I don't think that he's going to be in the Last Time Is Now tournament or anything like that. I actually think Dom is going to come out on the next episode of Raw in Madison Square Garden, call his shot, and I think he will beat John Cena. So there we are. It's Monday, New York, Madison Square Garden. So WWE is going to want to have a big show. And lo and behold, it's already a pretty big show. We've got 2 tournament matches. We've got Becky versus Maxine for the Intercontinental Championship. And why not add one more Intercontinental Championship match by having John Cena come out to greet the crowd, start the show again, and say, hey, you know what? Like I've been saying, it's a new generation. I want to face everybody I can. You want this title? Come take it. You want some? Come get some. But the thing is, nobody that we really want to answer that call is going to answer that call, because all of those people should, in theory, be in the tournament to be John Cena's final opponent. So instead, Dirty Dom will come out to answer Cena's challenge. Now, of course, we all know Dom. He likes to lie, he likes to cheat, he likes to steal, like another very famous wrestler we all know. And so we know that Dom would not necessarily be interested in doing this on John Cena's terms. Heck, let's look at Raw where he lost the championship. Dom wasn't really thrilled about the fact that he suddenly had to defend that championship against John Cena. So I think we should have Cena come out, warm up the crowd, have Dom come out and be like, hey, I want my title back. I'm owed a rematch, but we're not going to do it right here, right now. So you can have the crowd boo. We're actually going to do it in the main event of tonight. So your crowd can get hyped. They're excited for later on in the night. We have a brand new main event that wasn't advertised. And oh man, we get to run back John Cena versus Dom one more time. I never really thought I would say I want to see Dom face John Cena twice in his retirement tour, but because of what the WWE has done, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And that might be you too. So we carry on with the show and we have a backstage segment with Dom, because if you weren't aware, WWE did upload, I believe, across their social medias, clips of Dom absolutely losing his shit because he lost his title. And of course, the direction of Dom's hatred was actually all toward the Judgment Day. Where was the Judgment Day? Why didn't they help him? Why weren't they there to help him retain his title against the greatest of all time? So because of that, we had to figure out what's going on. So we should have a backstage segment with Dom, with the Judgment Day, where Dom's like, guys, what the heck happened? Where were you guys? I know we've been running through that exact thing over the past couple weeks, but let's be honest, WWE's storytelling over the last little while has been pretty bad. The writers really haven't been doing much, so I would imagine we're gonna get the same thing yet again of Dom being like, guys, what the heck? And the rest of the Judgment Day being like, Dom, what the heck? I think we're still a little bit of a ways from the Finn Dom match, but I think basically what we need to do here is have Dom go, you know what? Screw the Judgment Day, screw this. He's not leaving it, but he's gonna tell them, you know what, guys? Don't come out for the match tonight. I actually think I can handle Cena all by myself. Because let's be honest, what's a bigger slap in the face to Finn's ego than Dom saying, no, I don't need you guys. I can beat the greatest of all time on my own to get my title back. Don't worry about it. I got this. And if you want to continue the storyline with Roxanne, well, you could have Roxanne be involved here. You know, maybe she comes over to Dom after the conversation and is like, hey, I could come out with you. And then you could either have him say, yeah, sure, or no. But later on in the night, we should have John Cena having his own backstage segment where he's walking around backstage. He's getting the pats on the back, the cheers. Yeah, John Cena, you're the man. Look at all these guys that aren't booked on TV right now. They're really psyched for you being the Intercontinental Champion. I realized that came out sounding like I was trying to throw shade on people. I wasn't there, but take it how you want to take it. Anyways, guys like Sheamus, guys like AJ Styles should come up to John Cena and say, hey, look, we know you got a match against Dom later. We know the Judgment Day is always up to something. If you want, I can have your back. I'll be out there for you. And, you know, just typical babyface John. Oh yeah, this is amazing. Great. I really appreciate that. We're best friends forever. But then who should show up but Rey Mysterio, letting John Cena know that actually whoever ends up winning the championship tonight in that main event, they have Rey Mysterio to look forward to at Survivor Series in San Diego. So now we know the stakes. Whoever is the Intercontinental Champion coming out of this, their match for Survivor Series is up against Rey Mysterio. Because either way you do it, we've got the history between Dom and Rey, a lot of recent history, and then we have the history between Rey and John, and there's a lot that you could do. I would love to see Rey Mysterio go up against John Cena one more time if John were to happen to retain, but in this world, in my brain, in my happy place, we're gonna say Dom is actually gonna get this title tonight, so let's get there. So we move into the main event. Yes, it is Dom versus Cena, and hopefully they give it enough time. Let the two have another really fun match. Have it be creative, have it be a safe match, because we gotta keep Cena protected and healthy, but let them have a fun time. Dom should be trying literally every single thing in his heel playbook. He should be removing the turnbuckle pad like he did in their last match. He should be attempting roll-ups. He should be putting his feet on the ropes. He should be trying everything he can. Grab that title. Hit Cena with the title. Dom should put Cena through the heel ringer in this match of Dom just trying every single way he can to cheat to win and successfully cheating, but the problem is he's never actually able to turn the successful cheat into a pinfall. Moving to the finish, have Dom do the classic Eddie Guerrero, have him do he's got the steel chair, he absolutely blasts it against the ground, he tosses it to Cena, he flops down, we've seen the spot, we know, right? But what should happen with the spot here is once again, the spot doesn't work. Dom's laid out, Cena lays out Dom, and now goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle, which unfortunately, Dom should have enough ability to recover here to land a kick to John Cena's groin just as the ref is looking away to put the chair out of the ring, leading to Dom getting a tight schoolboy in or a tight roll-up in, whatever you want, a small package. Who doesn't love a good small package? Probably the ladies, but that's fine. Have Dom put Cena in a small package. 1, 2, 3. He steals the victory. Dom leaves Madison Square Garden, your Intercontinental Champion once again, and in fact, your double champion once again. Obviously, Dom should try and grab his title to try and make a mad dash out of there, but I think it would be fun if John Cena actually cut him off. He tries to get back in the ring, Cena cuts him off again, and what should happen? Cena actually, he wags that finger, he gets that wry smile that Cena's known to get, and he just acknowledges it. He's like, you got me, kid. You did it. You got one over on me. Yeah, you did cheat. I'm not that mad about it. I should have known. I've gone through years against some of the greatest heels of all time. Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler. He's faced some crazy heels. It's funny that I would say Dolph Ziggler in there. I think Dolph Ziggler's great, obviously. He's faced so many heels, and this kid was able to get one over on John Cena. So I think Cena would respect it. So I think Cena should actually close out Raw by raising Dominik Mysterio's hand. Obviously, then we get the big pop. We get that moment of, oh my God, Dom's getting the Cena rub. This is amazing. And then Cena grabs Dom, puts him in an AA to send the crowd home happy. I'm sure Dom would get cheered if Cena raised his hand, but I think Cena would get an even bigger pop if he laid out Dom to close the show. And, just instead of, he's not angry about it, just a little shrug and he goes up to celebrate, does his thing. Let's really think about it. What did this do for everybody? Well, for Dom is the champ again. And not only is the Intercontinental Champion again, he's actually the double champ again, like I previously said. Just another fun thing that he can hold over people's heads. Not only am I a double champion, I'm a 2-time double champion. Then there's also the issue of Dom's reign actually getting up there in numbers despite not really doing much. So it did end his lengthy reign and restarted his reign, which is kind of helpful in terms of, you don't want Dom to look like a super dominant. He's held the Intercontinental Championship for over a year. You don't want that. So we've restarted the counter on his days, and now we can actually, hopefully the WWE writers can build better stories for Dom and more interesting opponents for Dom to have moving forward. And of course, it leaves a lot of room. Like, what do we do with Dom moving forward? I don't know. I have a feeling that WWE is waiting for Liv Morgan to return so that they can see what they're going to do there. So this gives you the flexibility of keeping Dom moving, towing the line between heel babyface, or you could just turn him full babyface, turn him full heel, whatever you want to do. After this, we continue the Rey Dom story with Dom moving on to face Rey at Survivor Series in San Diego, which I'm sure would be a very, very rowdy match. And of course, all of this is all the more fun if apparently WWE just brought in Chavo Guerrero to work with AAA, which is great, and I understand that apparently it's in a backstage role, but how good would it be to have Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan learning from Chavo Guerrero as like their new manager, their wise man, their Paul Heyman, to learn the ways of lying, cheating, and stealing so that they can not only do it, but do it effectively. And that way you can have both Liv and Dom working as heels, getting babyface cheers. what an interesting world wrestling is right now. How fun does that sound? Oh, and of course, you know, Dom beat John Cena. Now, for John Cena, this also helps a lot because we don't have the Intercontinental Championship bogged down. Yes, obviously, it would only be a couple more weeks that it would be on Cena if Cena doesn't end up losing it on Raw, but the problem is now the Last Time Is Now tournament has an actual tangible prize. You're not just the guy that retired John Cena, which should be the entire draw of the tournament. This tournament does not need a title, and I think this is a very, very big mistake from WWE Creative to put the Intercontinental Championship into this tournament. And that's pretty much why I'm hoping it gets removed, because it's lazy and it removes the importance of John Cena's last match. Why is it for the Intercontinental Championship? A championship John Cena just won. We don't need that. I don't think we want that. If John Cena's last match was for the world title, great. Intercontinental Championship, whatever. My whole thing was just, we just had Cena on the Raw that he beat Dom for the title, talking about how important it was for this next generation to step up. So it is a little bit weird to have Dom walk in, step up, cut what was a very, very good promo. I think if you're someone that can't say Dominik Mysterio looked like he belonged in a ring with Triple H and John Cena, I think you're kidding yourself. Dom did an awesome job. This is coming from someone who hasn't really been a major Dom fan historically. I do like what he's doing. I think he's doing incredible work, and I think he's amping up his game every single week. And I think the fact that he was in that ring with John Cena, with Triple H, and literally told John Cena he was gonna put him down, and the crowd reaction, my reaction, the reaction of my girlfriend watching it with me, everybody was, ooh, all right, Dom. I just think Dom needs to get this title back, or at least if you're not going to give it to Dom, give it to someone else younger that is not involved in the tournament. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to think of how the WWE can keep creating stars. They seem to have this weird problem of, let's create these guys and let's use these guys for a really long time and only them, and we won't give anybody else a chance. And then by the time that they're all old, retiring, or getting injured a lot, we now don't have many options. And right now, we're kind of in one of those periods. We have a lot of guys toward the top, but not a lot of guys that the WWE is willing to pull the trigger on. LA Knight, I have to say that. I have to say that for my girlfriend, for everybody out there who loves LA Knight. Would another loss for Cena in his retirement tour so close to the end kind of deflate things? I don't think so. I think John Cena could lose every single match of his retirement tour, and I think that would be a fascinating story. I don't think you take anything away from John Cena losing his last match, if he does lose his last match, from having him lose other matches. In reality, a guy like John Cena, yes, he is the greatest of all time. Yes, he did just win the 17th World Championship this year, but you know what else? He's also older. He's also retiring. In theory, John Cena should be losing. Now, you do want him to be winning because that story is great, but to give him a surprise loss to a Dom, oh my God, the amount that that does for a guy like Dom. If you want to shoot Dom to the moon, that's how you shoot him to the moon. He will come out of that as one of the top stars of the company. It's just whether or not WWE would like a guy like Dom at the top. I mean, let's not forget, John had to cheat to win a lot of his last matches anyways, right? So while I would love to see a Sheamus or a Matt Cardona come out of the woodwork to face John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship, I would much rather see a guy like Dom, who was there every single week, step back up, take his championship back, and show everybody why Dom should be the guy to lead the mid-card into the future of the WWE. But hey, that's just my thought process. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Who should beat John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship? Do you want to see John have a match in Madison Square Garden on this upcoming episode of Raw, or are you just kind of expecting a bit of a promo segment to set up a match at San Diego? Do you expect, I mean, I can see John Cena versus Rey Mysterio at San Diego Survivor Series one last time, have Dom get involved in that match. I can see all of it. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you. I'm excited to see. I read the comments. I'll even reply to you. Let me know what you think down below. I've been Casey Cameron. I will see you in the next wrestling video.